Songs of Milarepa.
The name by which Milarepa is known in Tibet is Jetsun Milarepa. Jetsun is an honorific meaning holy, while Repa means clad in cotton. Mila was a family name. Hence, in English he may be called Holy Mila the cotton-clad. The teachings of Milarepa are in the form of songs or poems, which talk about Dhamma, which is an important part of the Buddhist tradition. The closest in Pali literature to these songs are the utterances of Lord Buddha in the Sutta Nipata, Udana and Itivuttaka, and also in the Dhammapada. Milarepa's songs deal with renunciation and the dangers of samsara and impermanence. There are songs describing different aspects of samsara, such as birth, old age, sickness and death, relatives and wealth. Next are songs relating to practice, advice on how to practice and warnings about what not to do. Finally, there are songs describing aspects of Milarepa's realization, his contentment, happiness and non-attachment, and his blessings. Fortunately, Milarepa has also given an outline of his life in one of the songs. Milarepa's teachings talk about the impermanence of all things, states, people, places, and that by not recognizing this truth and by thinking in terms of permanence, self, etc., we come to experience unending dissatisfaction. Milarepa also points out the way to transcend this dissatisfaction and emphasizes the keeping of precepts, concentrating the scattered mind and the development of wisdom. The 100,000 songs of Milarepa mention the whispered transmission of meditation instructions, which are imparted by the teacher to his disciples. Buddha was well known for his remarkable ability in preaching exactly the right Dhamma to fit the situation and meet the understanding of those who listened. He did not teach the deep truths of Dhamma to those who were not prepared as yet to receive them, and in a similar fashion, Milarepa also graded his teachings for varying circumstances and intelligences. Like Lord Buddha, Milarepa taught Dhamma to all, to the emissary of a king and to shepherds, to nuns and wealthy ladies, to bhikkhus and yogis, to bandits and merchants. His conversion of the hunter, Shirawa Gwombo Dorje, is as popular a story in Tibet, as is the pacifying of Angulimala by Lord Buddha in India. At the age of 84, Jetsun Milarepa relinquished his body, passing away, surrounded by disciples, both human and celestial. For 900 years the traditions of meditation in which he trained his disciples have been handed down in Tibet. It has come to be known as the Gagyupa or Kagyu, sometimes known as Kagyupa, which is translated as the whispered transmission. In the time of Milarepa, as is evident from his songs, many bhikkhus spent long years in study but never gave much heed to practice. Scholar bhikkhus of Tibet were, at that time, very able in arguing the finer points of Buddhist philosophy and well equipped with logic. But somehow, the urge to practice meditation was missing. This was true of the spiritual forebears of Milarepa, his immediate guru, Marpa, and of the Indian yogis, Naropa and Tilopa. In several places Milarepa criticizes those bhikkhus, and indeed anyone, who studies the Dhamma just for intellectual satisfaction or even for worldly advantage. Many sincere bhikkhus did approach him for meditation instructions and, thereafter, practiced with him as their teacher. Milarepa was, therefore, a source for the spiritual regeneration of the Sangha in Tibet. With his insistence upon the practice of Dhamma, Milarepa's life and teaching present striking similarities in many respects to the way as practiced by the Thudong, Dhutanga, bhikkhu. The greatest difference is that a bhikkhu is bound to observe his fundamental precepts, which, as Milarepa did not have the bhikkhu ordination, he did not have to keep. Nevertheless, even a quick look at his life after he began his practice would reveal that he scrupulously maintained those injunctions given to him by his teacher, Marpa, as well as cultivating the twin bases of moral conduct in the Dhamma, wisdom, and compassion. Though he had not the formal ordination of a bhikkhu and wore not the monk's robes, yet Milarepa, according to definitions given in the Dhammapada, was indeed a true bhikkhu. He who has no attachment whatsoever towards the mind and body and who does not grieve for what he has not, he indeed is called a bhikkhu. Whoso herein has abandoned both merit and demerit, he who is holy, he who walks with understanding in this world, he indeed is called a bhikkhu.